Aquarius Sun Signs are born between January 20th and February 18th. Well, with our Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is the zodiac sign that we associate with, in my mind, revolutionary sort of fringe behavior, thinking, topics, themes, etc. Aquarius is eccentric. It's a little different. This is our water bearer. And the water bearer, to me, I never really think of the symbolism of the water bearer other than the fact that it's like the star card in the tarot, which happens to do with sort of hope and for the future. Now, Aquarius is a sign that rules friendship and brotherly love and our associations that we have with our broader community. It's humanitarian efforts. It's these efforts to move us from a place as a species, as a race, that's more selfish into this place that's about offering everyone the freedoms to express as they would like to express, okay? Unity, equality, these sorts of things. So Aquarius also rules science. It rules the new age, including astrology, anything cosmic, anything that has to do with sort of these mysteries of the universe. I think of these mysteries as quite different from maybe Scorpio or 8th house or watery mysteries that have to do with the inner psyche, but this is more sort of the cosmic mysteries and what our place is and what our role is. So with an Aquarius, you have an individual who, as a personality type, you tend to see as someone sort of eccentric. They'll have a freak flag. They usually are a little bit different or odd, and they won't mind being called weird or eccentric. Like, they'll appreciate that you see that they're unique. They really strive to live their life in a way that they feel is their own authentic version of what they think life is. Aquarius also is a fixed sign, so there is a stubbornness. Even though this is an air sign, and it has to do with freedom, and it has to do with, it's ruled by Uranus, which gives it this, this sort of on-again, off-again quality. It's also traditionally was ruled by Saturn as well. So these two rulers, it's interesting, neither are emotional sort of rulers. Both of them I think of as detached and a little bit colder in the sense that they're impartial. So a lot of times people who have strong Aquarius, Uranian, or Capricorn, or Saturn, those four energies strongly noted in their chart, they'll have a sarcasm to them. They'll have a cynicism to them. It's this interesting place where their understanding of the realities of life, which would be sort of that Saturnian energy, mixed with an Aquarius at least, their ability to see the possibilities, the contradiction there, makes them a little sarcastic, and also there's a strong element of genius that we've applied to Aquarius Mercuries, or someone who's got a lot of Uranian energy in their third house, or 11th house, third house connections, Mercury. Anyway, they'll have a genius to them. Their mind will be quick. They will seem as though they received cosmic downloads, and perhaps they do. Who says they don't? I don't know. And there's just this, the way that they think that was a little different. It's a little fringe, a little weird relative to the norm. They're not normals, okay? High functioning Aquarius, you've got someone who is unique, unorthodox. They do things in a way that other people maybe haven't thought of doing them yet. They have this thing where they really care about people. They're great friends. Many Aquariuses have a lot of friendly associations with a lot of different people. They're very social, and they need to have those connections with many different people, all right, and many times of the opposite gender or of the gender that they're attracted to sexually. But they need to know that their partner knows that they're loyal, that they're not. They need to be free to have these associations, and it's an important part of who they are. With an Aquarius, you've got also, it's an air sign, so they're logical and they're thinkers, and they also have an energy about them because it's Uranian. Uranus's energy is a little nervous, and they can worry about things, and their heads can even be a little ADD, a little spastic in their thinking process. I say that with love. I have Uranus in my third house, but it's on again, off again quality, because that's Aquarius energy. It's very like here and then there and then everywhere. So on to our shadow side, our low functioning, Aquarius traits. You do have a flakiness that can happen with Aquarius. You can have, they're just not earthy grounded the way that a Capricorn or a Virgo might be, or a Taurus. It's just, they're just different. They, doesn't mean they won't show up for people that they care about, because these are our most sort of humanitarian types. They'd be really good at sort of spreading the message and getting a bunch of people there. And you know, they're going to be good at the part that they're good at, which has to do with the communication and the actual, maybe perhaps creation of the entity, and then letting other people actually do the in-person work. They're the idea person. Also, you've got a fixed sign. So you've got someone who's determined. They can be stubborn. They can be so determined to a fault. They can leave situations and be non-committal with their relationships in the same way Gemini can, because they're not naturally, again, a super emotionally connected on their own insides type of a person, because they spend so much of their energy up in this part of themselves, up in their head and their, you know, throat chakra and whatnot, third eye and all that good stuff. This part of them is less connected unless they have, again, moon, perhaps a moon that's in a water replacement, or some other things that would indicate that they're connected down here emotionally. But the way they operate on the outside is going to be pretty detached and a little sarcastic and a little funny and a little, like, they'll say things that are inappropriate, but they just have a Aquarius vibe about them that's pretty great. They're groovy. What else? They're freedom loving. And so on the high side, they give that freedom, but on the shadow side, sometimes if they feel like they're not being given freedom, they can rebel, and they can be the type that wander. They have to prove to themselves and sort of to the universe that they still are free, that they still have that universal right that's been granted to them, that they can spread themselves around a little, you know? So that's the shadow side. Also, they can be a little critical. They can be a little, that sarcasm can move into the realm of being kind of mean, critical language. Okay, Aquarius in love, they're naturally friendly, sociable types. That's what they're here for. They're here to socialize. So typically they have a lot of friends of both genders. And again, they're going to have friends that might be the same gender that they're attracted to. So as a partner of an Aquarius, you have to understand that there's a big difference between platonic and romantic. Aquariuses love platonic relationships, and they have a lot of them, and they need them. And if you try to take that from them, you are stripping away one of the most basic parts of who they are, and good luck with getting them to stay, because they're not going to. They're going to be gone. Aquarius do not like, they have a fear of commitment. So if you're in any way, shape, or form emotionally overwhelming them or trapping them or holding them down, preventing them from doing the thing they're here to do, then they will leave, right? Okay. Oh, also Aquarius, they have a flirtatious, cerebral quality to them, and they like a relationship that has a lot of communication. They like little sexy flirting text messages and, you know, letters and wittiness and banter, and someone who can teach them things. That's really attractive to an Aquarius. Someone who can debate with them about a topic that's close to their heart, or their pet topic. And a lot of times Aquarius, we see people with strong Aquarius, they're kind of nerdy. They have like a geekiness to them that's really appealing. So if you have that as well, that's probably going to be quite attractive to an Aquarius. These would be our sapiosexuals, you know, that are attracted to the mind. Someone who has a powerful intellect, that will be very sexy to an Aquarius. Okay. Okay, so Aquarius expectations in love, I'm kind of mentioned this already, but it is loyalty from the partner from an intellectual place. So they would expect your understanding of who they are and what they're here to do, which is to make many social contacts, to test the edges and the limits of social norm. That's why we consider them our iconoclasts, and they're our rebels, and they're our, eccentrics and the freak flag flyers. Okay, they need to be able to do all these things because that's who they are. So they will be loyal to a partner who understands that about them. They would expect in return, they will give you complete freedom, and they expect that in return. It's just not a non-negotiable issue for a true Aquarius. If they can't do a partner that's clingy, that emotionally needs to be validated by them, that partner will be sorely disappointed. The Aquarius just kind of, even if they know how to emotionally validate you or to be really sensitive to your emotional needs, the logical part of them will kind of step in and just be like, yeah, but you shouldn't really be so emotional about that, or that doesn't make sense to me, why you're making such a big deal out of this, or they'll even just have this attitude too, like, why do you care what someone thinks about you? You know, you shouldn't be upset about that, just who cares? They just don't, they themselves don't go to these really deep dark places typically, so they don't really understand why you need to and why you need to pull them in there. It just doesn't make sense to them. Again, unless you've got someone who's got water, you've got a watery moon, or a moon that's in a water house, then, you know, that's going to make this person more sensitive. But Aquarius can be a little insensitive. They do well with other thinkers and other air signs and fire signs. Aquarius's biggest fear would be if they're here to express their freedom of expression, the fear would be having that taken from them, feeling like they had to play a role, pretend to be somebody that they're not, keep it in the closet, etc. You know, that would be very uncomfortable for an Aquarius, and any partnership that required that would not last long with an Aquarius. They have an on-again, off-again quality to them where they are flaky too. They can be. And it depends on where it falls. It can affect their flakiness towards deciding on a career, or it can affect the way in partnership that if it's in their fifth house, maybe they have like multiple partners, and you know, it just depends on how. But there is an on again, off again quality. There's a lack of commitment in some part of their life. You know, where that sun falls, there can be a lack of commitment in that area. So it's something that they know this about themselves, and they don't appreciate it about themselves always either. And they really will not appreciate being told that they're behaving in this way, because they already know. You better believe they already know. So their fear is, you know, accept them for who they are. Their fear is when they're not being accepted for who they are. If you're interested, if you really want to find out about the compatibility between you and your partner, you need to have an astrology reading done with an astrologer. The computerized reports are really cool, and you can order some great ones on astro.com. They're great for giving you an initial sort of step into the compatibility between two people and learning about synastry, but there is nothing like an astrologer going over your charts, because we look at first the individuals, and we look at the synastry together, the chemistry between the two people, which is very complex. I mean, we're looking at hundreds of thousands of possible, I mean, really, there's probably millions of possibilities when we look at the synastry between two people. But we are focusing it on, you know, these areas that are important and relative to romance and romantic compatibility, which a computer can't do. I mean, computers just databases of, you know, aspects between two people, right? An astrologer takes these aspects, the zodiac signs they're in, the houses that they're in, sees all these patterns, this inner working, this mechanization of these two charts together, these two humans, these two blueprints, how they lock and key fit. And the astrologer is able to make some deductions that are much more enlightening than what you would see from a computerized report. So computerized reports are great. They're a good place to start, but most of them cost like 40, 50 bucks. You can get a reading with an astrologer. It takes 90 minutes where you can record it and listen to it over and over again. $189 is what I charge for my relationship readings. If you're interested in that, give me an inbox. You can go to my website. You can actually book an appointment right on my website yourself, get it all taken care of without even having to message me first. I've got my schedule up there. So very easy and a lot of fun. You can do it via Skype or telephone or in person if you're here in Utah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you, and share with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you like it. I've tried to get stuff up regularly because it's my passion to share astrology with as many people as possible. So thank you so much, and see you soon. Bye.